Hello students, my name is Mustaiz Alam, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics, Nandlal Singh College, Daudpur. Today we will read about need and objective of planning. Why we need planning? Economic planning is often regarded as technique of managing an economy. When the structure of an economy becomes complex and subject to rapid change and transformation, due to population growth, discovery of resources, industrialization, etc., some sort of advanced thinking becomes necessary to resolve that complexity and to prepare the economy for those changes. Such preparation is called planning. Most often, that not an economic plan is regarded as program of action. It may also be taken to mean an instrument for regulating a free private enterprise economy. The regulatory measures may vary from country to country. They may leave either too much or too little a degree of freedom to private enterprise. This may hamper the working out of the plan. Many plans leave their program incomplete because they hesitate to exercise their regulatory functions. They are little more than a list of public development projects. Many other plans perform their regulatory function with such seriousness and severity that their programs of actions are completely jeopardized. In such planned economies, any sort of enterprises cease to exist. The correct plan is one in which comprehensive and consistent program of action is sought to be implemented by carefully harnessing enterprise for the success of the plan. It should be noted that plan is just a program of action. It is not a guarantee for action. In short, a good plan is one which makes adequate provisions for and ensures that its targets are properly fulfilled. Importance of planning. The importance of planning lies in the fact that it is an instrument through which important socio-economic objectives unrealizable under free private enterprise are likely to be effectively realized. In an underdeveloped country like India, these objectives may be broadly grouped as a, a higher rate of growth than was being realized in the absence of the plan, b, a greater degree of economic equality than was possible under free enterprise, c, fuller employment opportunities for the growing labor force of a country, and d, larger provisions for capital formation as one of the principal instruments for accelerating the rate of growth. In the language of Gunnar Myrdal, a main element of every national development plan is a decision to increase the total amount of investment aimed at raising the productive powers of country and to procure the capital formation necessary for this purpose. The usefulness can be gauged only by examining the extent to which it succeeds in removing the ills of unregulated free enterprises, while simultaneously realizing the above goals. In underdeveloped countries like India, an economic plan is to be looked at not as substitute for private enterprise. Rather, it is to be taken as the only instrument through which enterprise can spread to non traditional forms of economic activities. In countries like India, the most important objective of economic planning is to bring into being new forms of production by accelerating capital formation. This will surely raise the overall productivity of the economy and thus raise people's income by providing them overall productivity uh, by providing them adequate employment opportunities and thus remove the problem of mass poverty. Prima facie, the overpopulated, underdeveloped countries often suffer from capital starvation. In other words, there is always a shortage of all type of productive capital equipment in such countries, so most people have to depend on land. Underemployment and unemployment are just a reflection of this. Economists like Knox and Lewis believe that the only way to provide gainful employment opportunities and better living standards to the masses it is equip them with more capital. The accumulation of capital must proceed at a pace which would closely correspond to the rate of population growth and productivity change. Objective of economic planning of India. The following are the important objectives of planning in India. Number 1, economic development. The main objective of the Indian planning is to achieve the goal of economic development. Economic development is necessary for underdeveloped countries because they can solve the problems of general poverty, unemployment, and backwardness through it. Economic development is concerned with the increase in per capita income and causes behind this increase. In order to calculate the economic development of a country, we should take into consideration not only increase in its total production capacity and consumption, but also increase in its population. Economic development refers to the raising of people from inhuman elements like poverty, unemployment, and ill health, etc. Increase employment. Another objective of the plan is better utilization of manpower resource and increase employment opportunities. Measures have been taken to provide employment to millions of people during plans. Number 3, self-sufficient. It has been the objective of the plans that country becomes self-sufficient regarding food grains and industrial raw materials like iron and steel, etc. Also, growth is to be self-sustained for which rates of saving and investments are to be raised. With the completion of third plan, Indian economy has reached the takeoff stage of development. Economic stability. Stability is as important as growth. It implies absence of frequent and excessive occurrence of inflation and deflation. If the price level rises very high or fall very low, many types of structural imbalances are created in the economy. Economic stability has been one of the objectives of every 5-year plan in India. Some rise in prices is inevitable as a result of economic development, but it should not be out of proportions. However, since the beginning of the second plan, the prices have been rising rather considerably. Number fifth, social welfare and services. The objective of the 5-year plan has been to promote labor welfare, economic development of backward classes, and social welfare of the poor people. Development of social services like education, health, technical education, scientific advancement, etc., has also been the objective of the plans. Number 6, regional development. Different regions of India are not economically equally developed. Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, etc. are relatively more developed, but UP, Bihar, Odisha, Nagaland, Meghalaya, and Himachal Pradesh are economically backward. Rapid economic development of backward regions is one of the priorities of 5-year plans to achieve regional equality. Number 7, comprehensive development. All round development of the economy is another objective of the 5-year plans. Development of all economic activities, namely agriculture, industry, transport, power, etc., is sought to be simultaneously achieved. First plan laid emphasis on development of agriculture. Second plan gave priority to the development of heavy industries. In the eighth plan, maximum stress was on the development of human resources. Number 8, to reduce economic inequalities. Every plan has aimed at reducing economic inequalities. Economic inequalities are indicative of exploitation and injustice in the country. It results in making the rich richer and the poor poorer. Several measures have been taken in the plans to achieve the objectives of economic equality, especially by way of progressive taxation and reservation of jobs for the economically backward classes. Number 9, social justice. Another objective of the plan has been to promote social justice. It is possible in two ways. One is to reduce the poverty of the poorest section of the society, and other is to reduce the inequalities of wealth and income. According to 8th plan, a person is poor if he spends on the consumption less than rupee 328 per month in rural areas and rupee 454 per month in urban areas at 1999 and 2000 prices. About 26% of Indian population lives below poverty line. The 10th plan aims to reduce this to 21%. Number 10, increase in standard of living. The other objective of the plan is to increase the standard of living of the people. Standard of living depends on many factors such as per capita increase in income, price stability, equal distribution of income, etc. During the period of plans, the per capita income at current prices has reached only up to rupee 20,988 rupees. So that's all in this lecture. Thank you.